Hi, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to be with you today on August 2nd. And if you are new, you're going to notice I just popped a QR code at the top right. You can use your phone, point to it, scan the QR code. That'll direct you over to my link tree with lots of great information for you and those you care about to improve the quality of your life and theirs. If you can't get there through the QR code, just go to Believe, Believe, me, achieve.com, and you'll get transported immediately over to my link tree. The first one you're going to check out is John's Daily National Day video, and of course, JCM TikTok, and there's so much other great stuff. If you're coming back, well, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and so wonderful, great associates to be here. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I hope some of the new people that are popping in for the first time or a few times will choose to support me and keep watching this great content. So let's get into our master topic, shall we? You heard me. Our master topic is how to kickstart your day, and we're on the series and episode 4. Wow. It's amazing to me that this topic has gotten a lot of I should say a lot of interest, and I think it's because most people believe that they really can't control their day. So I'm going to give you a perfect example. Today, I was actually sitting in my chair, and just as I was about to get up, I kind of bumped my big toe against the table. I just had reached out and I just kind of hit it, and felt a little discomfort for a few seconds. But the first thing I said to myself, you know what? It's just a bump in the road. I'm going to have a great rest of my day. And within a minute or so, the discomfort started to wean away, and the rest of my day went really, really well. But I could have spiraled down and said, oh my gosh, my day's going to be horrible, my foot's going to be pain. No, my foot left pain within a minute or two. So, and just telling yourself it's going to be a bump in the road really helps us to equate what's going on. I think that's so powerful. You see, our mind wants to carry out what it is that we share. So those words might be positive, they may be negative. So let's make them positive. And when we make our words positive, guess what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? We are going to not only perceive our future, we're going to start creating and manifesting our future. And I think that is so very important. So how else can we kickstart our day? We already talked about gratitude. Hopefully you guys are carrying that out. And then talking about the fact that when we get up in the morning, okay, we have our purpose. The other thing I think that's really good about how to jumpstart a day, whether you pray or do gratitude things, I definitely recommend that. I definitely said that's good. But another thing I think that's really good is to, I don't want to say have a plan, because we talked about the plan. It might be to engage with somebody. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a colleague, an associate. And when you engage with that person is going to motivate you. Okay. This is what's really cool in life, because just like I talked about my foot hitting that coffee table, I chose in that moment to say, you know what? I bumped my foot. I bumped my toe. So what? The little discomfort's going to go away in a few minutes. And when it goes away, great. But, I know the rest of my day is going to be great. And you know what? The rest of my day did go very well. I had a video I did for National Ice Cream Sandwich Day, and it went phenomenally well. And, I have to tell you, that mindset works, because when we create a void in our life, and then when we just have that slip in, it makes room for things in our life to go well. Now you might say, John, you're off your rocker. Well, no, I'm not even on a rocker. But anyway, how do you do this? It's really simple. You have to realize that we're all here and we have a purpose, okay? And everyone in this life wants to value each other for a purpose, right? When we know what our purpose is, so when you know what your purpose of the day is, you might say, well, gee, I have 5 or 6 or 10 things to do. That's great. But what's your purpose? My purpose is, ladies and gentlemen, my purpose is to every day to become a better version of myself and help others become better versions of themselves. I do that becoming an amazing, influential serial entrepreneur. And I also do that through other ways, like creating great content here on IFYL, by doing John's Daily National Day videos. Again, that's John's Daily National Day video, because every day I take the day and I record it and I talk about it. And that's a lot of fun. I create the Super Motivational Friday. I create the Envision Networking, How to Network with John, Science Fridays. And then I also do something else. I created JCM Academy, business coaching advice. Now, I think everyone in life has the potential to change. The problem is they don't believe that they are worth it. Now, I want to harp on this tonight and also tomorrow. Your value. All right. Let's say you believe that you're only worth $10 an hour. That's all you're ever going to get is $10 an hour. When you start to believe you're worth more, you're going to take those inspired actions and you are going to be that higher value. Because you see, inspired action causes us to change things in our life. Now, people that like, oh, woe is me, all I got for this job was this, or all I did was work at this store or this place flipping burgers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, if you want to better your lives and you want to do something, maybe you want to become a manager of that place. Maybe you want to own your own fast food place. That's great. But I think you have to have this vision of what you want in your life. Recently, I came up with another vision of another business I want to start. I'm not going to share it with you just yet. But I've been testing out some of the concepts with some of my neighbors, and they are really happy with the stuff I'm doing. So when you believe in who you are and what you can do and your worth, other people start to say, you know what? He's really worth that. He's the real deal. And you might get people in your life to say, oh, gee, why are you worth so much? They're jealous. They're envious. So when we make the mental mindset and we create the diet that we are worthy, that we're worth that amount of money, that we're worth that value, the stage magically gets set for us. Now, I say magically, but it transforms for us as we take those inspired actions from the thoughts we get, right? And so you might say, well, gee, how did this office happen? Or how did this building happen like this? Or how did my dream home get like this? It got like that because that's how you envisioned it. And when you envisioned it, that's when the magic started. But you didn't realize that you were creating something first in your mind, and then you started to create it in life. So creating it up here is so very important, okay? That gives us the feeling, right? We talked about this. The universe talks in feelings, not words, not pictures. We use the words and pictures to assimilate and get us into feelings so that we're able to do great things in life. Now, how is it that somebody, let's say they got out of college, that got this great big degree, right? Really in demand. And then we got this other person that didn't go to college, and they're making 4 times what the person that went to college to get a degree, a bachelor's or master's degree. Well, the person that, let's say, got that bachelor's or master's degree was told by his peers and his colleagues, well, that's all he's ever going to be worth. That's all you're going to get in the field at that title. And so he started believing that. And so that's all he ever was worth. And he let people lowball him all the time. I remember, and I'll tell you the answer to this in a second, but I remember somebody calling me saying, John, we need you to fix something. And they gave me a number an hour. And I was like, many times I would always say, oh, I guess that's all I'm worth. But then I changed my mental mindset and I said, you know what? That's too low. Well, how low would you go? The lowest I would go would be this. Oh, that's too high. Okay, well, look, have yourself a great rest of the day, and I'm sure you'll find someone else. Take care. They'll call you back. So what was that rate again? What were you charging again? Oh, you can't go like $5 lower, and they go lower. I'm like, no. I said, look, I'm really busy right now. if you want to call me back and you have an offer that is that or higher, I'll talk to you. Otherwise, let's not waste each other's time. I'm really busy. And the funny thing happens. They call back and they say, all right, we'll give you that rate. Now, because you believe you're worth that rate, you'll get that rate easily. When you believe you're worth more, if you believe you're worth $1 million an hour or $1 million a day, guess what? You're going to attract the $1 million. Now, sometimes we have to take steps in our life to be able to create small manifestations. It might be something as simple as getting a little job. And that part-time job helps put money in your bank account so you can use it to create more of a net worth, more of your business. Now, you might say to me, John, well, I just rather work for a company and I'll get a paycheck. Okay, so working for a company is not bad. Here's the challenge. When you work for a company, you give away your freedom pretty much. You give away your creativity because you're going to be told the way to do something 98% of the time. And so you're going to have lots of policies, lots of procedures, and you're not going to be happy if you have to be restrained all the time. So you know what happens? You quit. Now, the person I was telling you that had the bachelor's or master's degree was making money, but then the person that didn't graduate college, which I'm not saying not to go to college, but I'm just comparing something, he's making 4 or 5 times more with this person in his bachelor's or master's degree is. How's that possible? Well, this guy over here said, you know what? I know I didn't go to college, but I know I'm worth it. And I'm going to prove that value. And you see, when you believe that you're worth something, it's like the universe says, okay, you're worth $1 million. Here you are, you're worth $1 million. But people don't believe they're worth the amount of money. So people say to me, well, how do you manifest? And we'll get into that in another video, not today. We have a whole series on manifesting. I think the mindset is something that confuses people because they're like, well, I did this, John. I thought about this for a week and it didn't happen. You thought about it or you really felt about it? What do you mean? Well, when you thought about making those $1 million, okay, did you just think about it and see the money coming to you? Yeah, that's what I did. So you didn't think about it and feel it with your heart, did you? You didn't feel what it would be like or ask yourself, what would it look like now that I'm making $1 million? What would it look like when I open this business and it's successful and people are talking about me? What would that look like? What would it feel like? What would I hear? Most people in life do not want to play. They just want to be serious. And I have to tell you, manifestation is not for the serious. It's for the people that want to creatively play with their life. Now, I'm not saying to be foolish or stupid. Yes, you can take some risks, but I'm saying you got to believe in yourself and you got to creatively play like you were when you were a kid. Because when you were a kid and you played, you got everything you wanted. And you got older, you know what happened? You started to form disbelief. And you're like, maybe I can't do that. That's probably too hard for me. Yeah, I'm never going to achieve. That's almost impossible. You're already stopping yourself because you just put the no in your mind. The minute you put self-doubt in your mind, it's not happening. So you want to make that $1 million? I'm worth $1 million. I'm worth $1 million every day. You remember the mantra that I taught you guys? I'm going to show it to you again. Right? The one was live the feeling of the wish fulfilled by Neville Goddard. But the real mantra I share with you all the time is this. Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all that I get to keep. Tell me how good that feels. I really want you to envision it. I want you to feel it with every muscle in your body, especially your heart. Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all that I get to keep. How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel knowing that you now have this much money and this money is just coming in like a waterfall? Makes you feel good, doesn't it? So good. Let's say it again. Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all that I get to keep. Everything in your life starts up here with belief. Then you have to connect the brain to the heart, right? When we connect the brain and the heart together and they're working together cooperatively, guess what happens? We manifest. I know so many people, they're like working so hard with their brain. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be rich. And it's great to think it, but you got to feel it when you're thinking it. And you're saying, John, I don't know how to feel it. I don't know how to think it. Ask yourself questions like, what would it feel like? What would I look like? Where would I be when this happens? Where would I be right now that I'm making $1 million a day? Where would I be? And you want to ask yourself questions. Now, the other part of your body might say, oh, gee, well, that's impossible. No, get rid of the other side. I want you to play and ask, what would it be like, not if, when it happens? Because you do have the ability to create this manifestation. It's just that you have to believe your brain is going to go to work for you 24/7. And when you go to sleep, it's going to come up with ideas. One thing that helped me, I want to share with you many years ago when times were challenging. I adopted the attitude of gratitude. And one thing I did was I was just always grateful for whatever I had, whatever pennies I had in my wallet, whatever money I had in my bank account. I was grateful for that, for the food that I had, for my life, everything. And so when you think about that, and you think about that gratitude, right? So things were hard, maybe a little challenging. And I started realizing, how can I let people feel my gratitude? People that don't talk to me, how can I do that? So several years ago, I started with this concept, and people think I'm nuts, but a lot of people think it's great. I sign all my emails with warmest regards with gratitude, John C. Morley. They're like, what are you talking about? I can't tell you how many people that the conversation that I had with them led to a whole new probability just because they like the way I treated them. Now, I don't treat people that way because I have to. I treat them that way because I want to. Okay. I was with a Fortune 500 client today, and they were having some challenges with some logistics. And I said to them, look, I want to work with you. I understand there's some challenges. I want to do everything we need to get this resolved. And just being cordial. Being cordial is something that is not overrated. Try that in your emails. Sign off with warmest regards with gratitude and your name. Do that for a little while. And you're going to see that people you talk to are going to respond in kind, or they're going to be ready with like this olive branch to help you. And you're like, why? It's simple. You put something together genuine. Now, don't put this in your email if you don't believe it, if you don't really want to express this, because the thing you have to realize, whether we're talking about clients or whether we're talking about anyone in life, everyone always wants to be right. So let's suppose right now that you're wrong. And if you're wrong, you could be humble, right? And so when you talk to me, you say, look, this is the way I believe it should go. I might be wrong. And you're going to have this humbleness, and people are going to be wanting to flock to you. So if we understand how this logic works, and we know that when we thank somebody, and we know that when we have a positive attitude toward them, which I do in my emails, this led me to getting some of my largest contracts. I talked to one lady. The lady said to me, John, I always love talking to you. I said, I love talking to you too. She said, no, John, she said, it's always a pleasure to work with you. And after every time I work with her, I'm like, warmest regards with gratitude. I send over the report. I send over the bill, warmest regards with gratitude. She's like, Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. When you need something, reach out to me. Not if you need something. When you need something, reach out to me. And they first think that this is a temporary hiatus that I'm on. But when they start to see that it continues past weeks and months, they're like, wow, this is how John lives his life. And when you live your life with gratitude and you want to share that gratitude, not to impress people, but because you have a genuine interest to express your gratitude to others, you're going to find it come back to you 100-fold. Now, not overnight, because you say, gee, I want to be nice to somebody for a day or two. Yeah, so what? Be nice to them for a day or two. And then you don't get what you want, and then suddenly you turn. No, that's not right. So be nice to somebody, even if the situation is not in your favor. They might say, well, gee, John, I can't, we can't work with your company this time. I understand. I'm just going to use the name Mary. I understand, Mary. I know you get lots of vendors contacting you, working with you all the time. I just want to thank you for taking the opportunity to speak with me and give me the opportunity to learn about, some of the projects you're working on. And then I throw the caveat. If the need ever exists and you have a problem with one of your vendors, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you. They go, okay, John, I will keep your information handy. I don't need you right now. And then suddenly I get a call 2 weeks later. Hey, John, this is Mary. Hi, Mary. How are you? I'm great. How's your day going? It's going really well. What can I do for you? Well, we have a project. We had a problem with one of our vendors, and I was just wondering if you guys are going to be able to take it over. It's a blah, blah, blah project. I'm like, sure. When do you want us to start? Well, we're really behind the 8 ball. Is there any possible way you could start like Friday? Would tomorrow be too early? If you could start tomorrow, that'd be amazing. That'd be like we would have no downtime. That would be so amazing because we literally just threw them off the project today, and that would work really well. Yeah, sure. So when you connect with somebody, have that humbleness, have that human experience, okay? Not that bot experience. Is like, you know what I'm talking about. So this gets me so pumped. I'm sure you guys can hear and see in my face. Is when we express gratitude, okay? What happens when somebody says thank you? Your eyes light up. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bob. You feel good inside. It raises our vibration. When people know that you're a great vibration, or even there was a challenge going, working with this, we had an issue with this vendor. The good news is we're working out a solution. And John, so sorry to keep you. Not a problem. Of course, we're billing. It's a pleasure. We just want to get you resolved and make sure the client and everybody's happy. Sure. Would you let me know what's going on? Is it okay to call you later if it's late? Yeah. Text me or call me, definitely. And when you do this, magic happens. And they suddenly want to become more than a friend. They want to become a confidant. They want to become an ally of yours because they love being around your energy. They might say something like, hey, John, or hey, Mark, or hey, Bob, I always love talking to people on your team. May I ask why? Yes, you guys are always so friendly. You're so bubbly. And even when there's a challenge, you make everything go so smoothly. Well, thank you very much for the compliment. I am very grateful and honored to do that. And we'll keep working hard to make sure that we, meet your satisfaction. But what I tell my team is we're not going to meet hard to meet their expectations. We're going to work hard to exceed their expectations. Now, we don't tell the clients that. We tell them we want to meet your expectations. And then when you go above and beyond, you always underpromise, overdeliver. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you again this evening on August 2nd. By the way, today was National Ice Cream Sandwich Day. And if you haven't had a chance, run to your fridge. Maybe you have an ice cream there, or maybe you can catch the Good Humor Man. It might be a little late. But or maybe you have a 24-hour store. You can go and get yourself an ice cream sandwich. Ice cream sandwiches. That's what today was about. It's also National Night Out Day. So before I go, I want to share with you. People say to me, John, when did ice cream? It was called Ice Cream Sandwich Day start. Well, that's a great question. So a chipwich, where ice cream, usually vanilla, is sandwiched between two chocolate chip cookies, is also very popular. Okay. But a National Ice Cream Sandwich Day actually started in August 2nd, and it's been celebrated since 2005. Did you know that? So August 2nd is National Ice Cream Sandwich Day. And you probably say, well, who the heck started this holiday? I knew you were going to ask me that. So, in the current form, vanilla ice cream between two chocolate cookies traces its history to a vendor named Jerry Newberg, who sold the treats at Pittsburgh Forbes Field during a baseball game in 1945. So now you're probably saying, well, gee, who made the very first ice cream sandwich? So it's been a little cloudy of all this trail because there was a lot of, back and forth. But National Ice Cream Sandwich Day has been around for a while, like I said, since 2005. And it's a very interesting, fun food, right? And so, like a lot of products out there, when there's something notable like buffalo wings or something else, there's usually an origin story, right? Well, it's interesting because National Ice Cream Sandwich Day really had some interest because a lot of people were wondering, how did this happen? Like, where did it come from? And I think it was something different, right? It was different. And like I said, it started in the 1800s, okay? And it got refined to a much nicer, neater, and cleaner looking bar. It's a frozen dessert that looks like a sandwich, but it has a blast of ice cream in the middle with the upper and lower parts of it, either a biscuit, a wafer, or a cookie. And it's a cold sandwich, and it basically differs from country to country. So, that's pretty important to know. So National Ice Cream Sandwich Day, again, August 2nd, people are encouraged to consume these delicious treats. Started in the 1800s, very early 1800s. And it's been one of America's favorite desserts since August 2nd each year. And they marked it in 2005 with National Ice Cream Sandwich Day. So people say to me, John, what's the significance and history of it? Well, ice cream sandwiches have supposedly been around since the 1800s, as we said. And the version of ice cream sandwiches typically include a dual layer of chocolate, biscuits, and some vanilla ice cream. The origin of this current version of ice cream sandwich can be traced back to 1945 when the vendor Jerry sold these desserts at the Pittsburgh Forbes Field during a baseball game, like I mentioned before. So the sandwiches are sold all over the place. And unfortunately, you'll find that these sandwiches are sold for a nice hefty penny. Ice cream sandwiches quickly become popular after their introduction, and they're sold at leading restaurants, grocery stores, concession stands, good humor trucks, etc. Did you know that many countries have their own version of making an ice cream-based sandwich? For example, the Vietnamese vendors sell ice cream sandwiches using bread for the top and bottom layers, while in Iran, ice cream sandwiches consist of a rose or pistachio-flavored ice cream stuffed between wafer layers. So very, very interesting. The ice cream sandwich goes by a variety of names. The Monaco bar, giant sandwich, maxi bon, cream between, vanilla slice. And many people believe that this dessert originated in San Francisco. However, because it was invented so long ago, different people have different theories of how it actually came about. So the nice thing about an ice cream sandwich that I like is, you can still have that small, good humor ice cream sandwich, and it's pretty good. It's popular. It actually has the least amount of calories of all of the good humor type bars and sandwiches that you'll probably see. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you again tonight. I hope you'll like, love, and support my channel. Remember to comment below. How are you kickstarting your day? And I want to ask you something. What do you believe you're worth? And if you're not happy with what you're worth, why don't you change that belief? You can do it, but only if you believe it's possible. All right. I'd love you to tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then I would love you to go over to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space Morley Space Serial Entrepreneur, and look for that key phrase, ladies and gentlemen, to keep my content free. And below that, make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. You know, we'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, and even new facilities to get you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content ever, keeping you inspired to not just think about taking action, but really springing to it and making sure that your life is changing for the better every day. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. So take care, everyone. And remember to rewatch my content because there's so many great nuggets in it. Have a good night, everyone, and have yourself a nice, cool, refreshing ice cream sandwich.